Are you a business owner stuck in fear, doubt, and worry about what the marketplace will look like in the future? Then this show is for you. Strap on your seatbelt and get ready to disrupt and innovate. Here's your host, Lisa Levy.
Today, it's my pleasure to introduce you to David Medansky, the health guy. And he's on a mission to transform lives through sustainable health strategies. David specializes in guiding individuals and corporate teams who are determined to shed excess weight permanently, whether they've battled skepticism, failed fad diets, or hit rock bottom on their quest for a healthier, longer life. He's endorsed by Jack Canfield, author of Chicken Soup for the Soul, and Hal Elrod of The Miracle Morning. David's approach to weight loss is celebrated as achievable, realistic, and refreshingly simple. His method encapsulates the beacon for hope for anyone seeking lasting change. With his 9 simple golden rules for living a healthy life, he steers us away from gimmicks and quick fixes, focusing instead on partnering with nature's wisdom for sustainable results. Get ready to discover David's transformative insights today as we embark on a journey towards a healthier, happier you. It's time to break free from the cycle of temporary fixes and embrace a lifestyle that guarantees long-term success. And we're also going to glean insights from his newest book, Jaded Health. David, welcome to the conversation.
Thank you, Lisa. I appreciate being a guest today.
I'm so happy to have you here. This topic, my audience right now is going, disrupt and innovate, the health guy. And this is disruptive because the weight loss industry is a sham. My words, not yours. It is an absolute money-making scam created in the United States that is making us sick.
I agree with you 100% because when I started my weight loss journey in 2016, the weight loss industry was $61 billion a year. Today, it's $82 billion a year. And the American public is getting heavier and fatter. So if those diet and weight loss programs worked, those companies would be out of business after a few years. We'd all be healthier and thinner, and there wouldn't be a need for them.
Absolutely. So with that, we've set the context. Why is it so important that you're doing what you're doing? And take us on your journey and how you got to 2016 and what you're doing now with and the upcoming book, Jaded Health.
When I was in my 20s and 30s, I was fit and trim. However, like most people, life gets in the way with work responsibilities and family obligations. And before I realized it, I stopped exercising. I started eating fast foods and convenient foods, and the weight crept up on me. I got my wake-up call in July of 2016 when my doctor told me, based on my lab results and that I was fat, I had a 95% chance for a fatal heart attack. He gave me 2 options: lose the weight or find a new doctor. And he strongly encouraged me to find a new doctor because he had been after me for 8 years to lose the weight. If I did lose weight on a diet, I gained it all back, sometimes even more. I was frustrated. I was embarrassed. The light bulb went off. And during the next 4 months, I shed 50 pounds, 25% of my total body weight. More importantly, I've kept it off. And then in June of 2022, at age 67, I hiked up Mount Kilimanjaro. So age is not a reason not to start improving your lifestyle and your overall health.
David, that is a fantastic journey. And there are people who claim to have the secrets, right, that are 25 years old and are in the best shape of their life because partly they're just really young and right, we're leaner and fitter in our younger years. But you made a life-changing decision, a life-saving decision in your later life. And I love, right, the weight stayed off. So give us a couple of hints and insights into your approach, into those 9 tips, those 9 simple golden rules of living. What are we missing?
What I did when I lost my weight, I went back and started rereading my books from the 1970s by Paul and Patricia Bragg, Jack LaLanne, Richard Simmons, William Duffy's Sugar Blues, and I realized they were talking about basic concepts. Then I started reading books by current authors. And they were promoting their products, their programs, their methods. And it made it seem like if you didn't invest in their specific products or programs, you'd fail. I thought something is wrong. So being a former lawyer, I learned how to sift through fact and fiction and opinion. And I identify what I call 9 simple golden rules for living a healthy life. And when I tell people the 9 simple golden rules, and we'll go through them, people are like, I know that. I understand you know it. The question is, are you doing it? And the majority of people say, no. The question is, why aren't you doing what you know to do to be healthy? And it's not so much what we can do, it's what we will do. And that's the difference. So, very quickly, the 9 simple golden rules are: number 1, drink more pure water. What I mean by pure water is distilled water, reputable spring water, or reverse osmosis using a 6-stage filter. Your choice, because if you ask different experts, they'll give you different opinions as to which is the best. Also, our bodies are 60 to 70% water, not soda, diet soda, fruit juices, or milk. So water is very important. It also acts as an appetite suppressant. Golden rule number 2 is to avoid the highly processed, ultra-processed, and manufactured foods. Golden rule number 3 is to eat real, holistic, whole foods. So instead of drinking a glass of orange juice, which is full of sugar, eat the actual orange, because it takes 4 to 8 medium oranges to create a glass of orange juice. Most people wouldn't eat 4 to 8 oranges at one time, but that's how much sugar you're putting in your body. Again, it's a marketing myth when they say orange juice is healthy for you. It's not. Golden
If you
rule.
just drank 2 ounces, right? If you just had the 2 ounces, it would be better than that, right? It would be closer to that of one orange. But we
Freshly,
consume too much.
right. Freshly squeezed orange juice is better than the store-bought in the carton or the fountain orange juice
Right? Anything
at a
processed,
restaurant.
absolutely. All right, I'm sorry, I interrupted.
That's fine. Golden rule number 4 is to eat slower, because we all tend to eat fast, and I call it mindless eating. Mark David wrote the book, The Slow Down Diet. And in there he says, if you take 5 minutes for breakfast, give yourself 10, and at a minimum, give yourself 30 minutes for lunch and 30 minutes for dinner. Golden rule number 5, eat smaller portions. Our portion sizes have been supersized without people realizing it. Dinner plates in the 1900s were 9 inches in diameter. Today they're 12 inches, except in Europe, or they're still 9 inches in Europe, except for the UK. And at restaurants here in the US, serving platters can be anywhere from 12 to 15 inches. Golden rule number 6, get adequate sleep. At a minimum, we should get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. Number 7, I call it rest to digest. That's an intermittent fast. And most people will roll their eyes thinking starvation. And they're doing an intermittent fast without realizing it. Very simply, stop eating 3 hours before you go to sleep. You get 7 to 8 hours of quality sleep. When you wake up, drink minimum of 8 ounces of water to rehydrate. I drink 20 ounces. It acts as an appetite suppressant. And then I eat my first meal about 2 hours later, which is to break the fast, not breakfast. It's a myth with the breakfast cereals, the Kellogg's, Post, and General Mills, that you need to eat a healthy breakfast. Healthy is optimal word because their cereals are not healthy. And that's a 12-hour intermittent fast. So most people do it without realizing it. And golden rule number 8, think positive. 80% of our thoughts are negative. So imagine if we had reversed it and made it 80% positive. And the last one is to walk each day or do some type of physical activity. Rebel Wilson, the actress, lost 77 pounds in a year simply walking an hour each day. Now, I understand not everybody has an hour to walk each day. However, Mindy Kaling, another actress, lost weight. And what she did when she had a 10 or 15-minute break, instead of texting friends or going on social media, she'd go for a 10 or 15-minute walk. Well, if you do that 4 or 5 times throughout the day, you're getting 40 or 50 minutes. more importantly, you're moving throughout the day. So you're not sitting at your desk constantly for 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. So those are the simple 9 golden rules. And I'll ask people, are any of those you're unable or unwilling to do? And amazingly, people will say, I'm able to do it. However, I'm not willing to give up my soda or diet soda or whatever, ultra processed food or highly processed food that they like. So again, it comes down to choices. Anything is possible. We all have choices, and I respect their decisions.
Well, and we all have choices, and we don't have to do 100% of everything 100% correctly every day.
Correct. What I advocate is to be consistently good as to occasionally perfect. Occasionally perfect is when you're on a diet. Diets are extreme, temporary, hard to stick with, and a lot of them are potentially dangerous to our health. The other thing is the average person will attempt 4 to 5 new diets each year. And over a lifetime, the average person will attempt 126 different diets. What does that tell you? Diets don't work.
Don't work.
If they did, you wouldn't need to be on it. However, lifestyle is the main thing to improve your health, because when you eat for your health, the weight loss journey will take care of itself. And what I tell people, if you follow the 9 simple golden rules, the weight loss is a bonus. As long as you're consistent, like you said, and give it enough time. I will usually ask a client, would you like to weigh 24 to 48 pounds lighter by this time next year? Most people say yes. Okay, can you lose 2, 3, 4 pounds on average each month for 12 consecutive months? Because some months you'll lose more, some less, and some none at all because you'll hit a weight plateau. But a year from now, if you're consistent, not perfect, as you mentioned, Lisa, then you'll be 24 to 48 pounds lighter.
And just listening to you talk, it's very obvious, David, that you get that people make choices, and sometimes we make bad choices because they're fun, right? I'm going to own it. Every now and then, I need to have a little ice cream in my life. Is that a healthy choice? Absolutely not. But if I do it once a month, is the world going to end? I don't think it is.
No, in fact, I'll have ice cream maybe once every month, maybe every 6 weeks. I'll have a couple slices of pizza every, 2 or 3 weeks. So I'm not a food purist. When my wife and I go to Cheesecake Factory, once in a while I'll get the chocolate cake. However, what I used to eat in one sitting, I'll now eat over 4 or 5 nights. And that's the difference. You can enjoy, just don't overindulge. And if you do, don't beat yourself up. What I like to explain to people is the story of the airplane. If you're on an airplane going from Los Angeles to New York or vice versa, and it's off by 1 degree, you'll end up 150 miles off your track. However, most airplanes are on autopilot now, and the autopilot is correcting 90 to 95%. So think of your health journey as always course correcting. So even though you may get off track, just get back on. And again, think positive. You don't want to beat yourself up because that's negative. And that's one of the things I help people with.
That's fabulous. And right now, you're positioning with the new book, Jaded Health, coming out, and what you're doing. While you've worked with individuals for years now, you're really trying to focus in on corporate teams. What's the catalyst for that switch for you?
The catalyst is that I can help more people and help employers, number one, reduce stress and burnout for employees. When you reduce the stress and burnout, you reduce absenteeism and you reduce turnover, so there's greater retention, because it's expensive to replace an employee, usually depending on their position, 1/2 to 2 times their salary. And the other thing is employee healthcare cost goes down because they're not using as much of the healthcare, actually medical system, because I think there's a distinction between healthcare, which is preventative, and medical care, which is treating symptoms.
Absolutely. And it's an important distinction. And with this new focus that you're bringing to the corporate workplace, right, creating a healthier workforce is more productive. There's less overhead. They're healthier, right? We're in the realm of prevention and out of the realm of treatment, because treatment in this space, again, is a bunch of hooey. And and it's not effective because the pharmaceutical companies really don't want it to be.
Right. Now, there's a difference. The medical profession is extremely important. Don't get me wrong. If you have a broken bone or you need surgery, that's a big difference than going in for type 2 diabetes treatment, which is preventable and reversible, or um, high blood pressure.
Mhm.
The first thing they want to do, and a lot of times doctors will look at your age and nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I look for functional medical doctors who like to treat the body with nutrition, as opposed to medical doctors who just want to prescribe. But again, the medical profession is extremely important, especially in case of emergencies. If you have an appendectomy, broken bone, need surgery, certain cancers, you need the medical profession.
Absolutely. But from a weight loss and weight maintenance perspective, our culture has created the epidemic. It diet this, low fat this, anything, all of those things are replacing natural ingredients with chemical based ick. And going back to the simple principles, right? We need to take in whole foods. So, David, if you've piqued the curiosity of members of this audience, where should they go to find more?
They can go to jadedhealth.com. They can also send me an email at davidmedansky@gmail.com. My first name, David, my last name, Medansky, Medansky, @gmail.com. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Facebook. So they can find me there. And the other thing I want to point out, Lisa, is the clients I work with, when they're on their health journey and they're reducing weight, they're enjoying it. They look forward to it because we focus on the things that they enjoy that are healthy, because what we focus on expands, and then they stop thinking about the things they want to avoid, the things that are not good for them. And again, it's not that they have to be perfect. They can treat themselves and enjoy. And so they're enjoying the process, which is very important to me, and they're getting results.
And ultimately, right, it's about results and results that are sustainable. Okay, audience, right, we're talking about health today, and it's innovative and disruptive because we're going back to the way we used to do it, which is mind-blowing, right? I like to shake things up and say the way we've always done it doesn't work anymore, but sometimes we moved away from things that actually were meaningful. And health is one of those things that if we stay natural and we take care of our bodies, we will live longer, healthier lives. We will be more productive members of society. David, it was a great pleasure to have you here with us. Audience, you know my rules. Don't get left behind. Join me next time.
That's it for today's episode of Disrupt and Innovate. Head over to iTunes and subscribe to the show.